continent and the animal have become almost inseparable in the human imagination. You think the lion is something you understand. You think you know what a lion is. The mane,
Oh yeah,
the
the
pride,
lions
the
with
open
the big
savanna,
tail.
the roar that carries 3 miles, 5 kilometers across the grass, the social animal, the cooperative hunter, the symbol of Africa so complete that the continent and the animal have become almost inseparable in the human imagination. You think the lion is something you understand. You don't. And the reason you don't has nothing to do with Africa. It has to do with an animal that roamed North America until 11,000 years ago. An animal we named after the African lion because we assumed they were the same and spent a century getting almost everything wrong about. Its name is Panthera leo atrox, the American lion, and it was not what we thought. Start with what scientists assumed when the first fossils were described in the 19th century. The bones were large, the proportions were familiar. The skull had the rounded shape and enlarged carnassials of a lion. The conclusion seemed obvious. This was a lion, a subspecies of the African lion that had crossed into North America from Asia via the Bering Land Bridge and spread south. Same animal, different continent. The name atrox, meaning atrocious or ferocious in Latin, was chosen to honor its size. Beyond size, the assumption was that Panthera leo atrox lived, hunted, and organized itself exactly the way African lions do today. In prides, cooperatively, on open grassland, targeting large ungulates. The science moved on from there, building entire behavioral models on top of an assumption that the fossil record had never actually confirmed. That assumption was wrong, not partially, fundamentally. The revision began with genetics. In 2016, a study analyzing ancient DNA extracted from permafrost-preserved specimens from the Yukon published results that shook the taxonomy of large Pleistocene cats. Panthera leo atrox was not a subspecies of the African lion. It was not even particularly closely related to it. The genetic distance between atrox and modern African lions was larger than the distance between African lions and cave lions. The American lion represented a lineage that had diverged from the African lion's ancestors far earlier than anyone had assumed. Some researchers now argue it should be classified as an entirely separate species, rather than a subspecies at all. The animal we named after the African lion may not have been a lion in any meaningful biological sense. It was something else, something that looked like a lion from the outside, that had converged on a similar body plan through millions of years of evolution under similar ecological pressures. But that was, underneath the surface, genuinely distinct. This matters because everything we assumed about its behavior was based on its supposed relationship to the African lion. If that relationship is wrong, the behavioral assumptions collapse with it. Let's start with the mane. The mane of the African lion is one of the most recognizable features in the animal kingdom. It signals health, dominance, and age. Females prefer males with larger, darker manes. The mane is central to lions' social dynamics. It is not an optional cosmetic. It is functional, deeply integrated into how African lions organize themselves and compete. Every reconstruction of the American lion for most of the 20th century showed it with a mane, because it was a lion, and lions have manes. It almost certainly did not have one. The evidence comes from 2 directions. First, cave paintings. The cave lions of Europe and Asia, close relatives of atrox, are depicted in Paleolithic cave art from multiple sites across France and Spain. These paintings, made by humans who observed living animals, show cave lions without manes, consistently, across dozens of images, across multiple sites, from artists with no coordinated agenda. The cave lion is shown as a large, tawny, maneless cat. Second, thermoregulation. The mane of the African lion is an adaptation to the African savanna. It evolved in the specific thermal environment of sub-Saharan Africa. Panthera leo atrox range from the Yukon to Peru, through environments that range from subarctic tundra to temperate forest to open grassland.